Landlords have appealed the decision by the federal judge to maintain the eviction moratorium. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. Alright, so I have good news for landlords out there. Basically, the landlords are working on appealing the decision of the federal judge to keep the eviction moratorium in place. And I have an article right here just about that issue. But before I get into that article, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below, and let me know what you think is going to happen in this court case. Okay, I'm really kind of curious exactly what is going to happen with this appeals court. This appeals court in the past maintained the eviction moratorium, and they might just do the very same thing again, forcing it to be pushed on to the Supreme Court. So this article, it comes from The Intelligencer, and it says, federal court set to rule on eviction moratorium this week. A three-judge panel with the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia is expected to rule this week on whether a moratorium against evictions imposed by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention will stand. The court late Saturday set an expedited schedule following an appeal by Alabama and Georgia realtors of a Friday ruling by U.S. District Judge Dabney Friedrich. The judge refused landlords' request to put the Biden administration's new eviction moratorium on hold, though she ruled that the freeze is illegal. In issuing her ruling, Friedrich said her hands are tied by an appellate decision from the last time courts considered the eviction moratorium in the spring. Yeah, I just went over that case right there, okay? So she was claiming that her hands were tied, there was nothing she could do, and that she was bound by the appellate court's decision. The appellate court had made the decision that they were going to keep the eviction moratorium in place. So now the case is getting pushed back to the appellate court. So it's pretty obvious that they probably are going to let the eviction moratorium stay in place again. Now, there is a small chance that they will look at with the writings of the Supreme Court and then just make their, change their decision. But my personal opinion is that this whole thing is going to get pushed forward to the Supreme Court because, they really do need a decision from the Supreme Court so that all the lower courts in the entire country will have to abide by this. The court has given the Justice Department until 9 a.m. Tuesday to respond. The plaintiffs have until Wednesday morning. The parties both asked the court rule by Thursday. So yeah, by this Thursday, we should have a decision on whether this appeals court's going to throw out the eviction moratorium or not. The new moratorium, which is set to expire October 3rd, was announced this month and could keep millions of people in their homes as the coronavirus Delta variant has spread and states have been slow to release federal rental aid. It would temporarily halt evictions in counties with substantial and high levels of virus transmissions and would cover areas where 90% of the U.S. population lives. In seeking the ruling, the realtor said the court should do what the district court thought it could not. If the D.C. Circuit doesn't give the landlords what they want, they are expected to seek Supreme Court involvement. Yeah, so I'm not, like I said, I'm not expecting anything good to come out of this. I mean, yeah, there is going to be a decision by Thursday, and I'm glad that they are expediting the whole process. I'm glad that they're pushing this forward as quickly as possible. But yeah, this appeals court, they maintained the last eviction moratorium. So why would they suddenly change and, not want to maintain this one? So yeah, let's see what else this article says here. In late June, the High Court refused by a 5-4 vote to allow evictions to resume. Justice Brett Kavanaugh, part of the slim majority, said he agreed with Friedrich, but was voting to keep that moratorium in place because it was set to expire at the end of July. Kavanaugh wrote in a one-paragraph opinion that he would reject any additional extension without a new, clear authorization from Congress, which has not been able to take action. Well, yeah, like I've said before, Brett Kavanaugh, it's your fault that this whole thing is going through the courts again, okay? The eviction moratorium, it should have ended on July 31st, and I know they say, well, this is a completely different one. Well, it's pretty much the same thing. It was authorized by the CDC, even though they don't have authority or power to do that. And it's completely unconstitutional in that it violates the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. Unlawful taking of private property without just compensation. Okay, so Brett Kavanaugh should have made a strong decision, not just let the prior eviction moratorium expire, but just said, hey, all of these eviction moratoriums are unconstitutional. And we have to get rid of this thing immediately because, these violations of the Constitution, they put all of our rights in danger. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, it's good news that they are taking this up in the appeals court so quickly. I'm glad that this process isn't getting dragged out any longer than it should be. It's bad that these landlord groups that keep having to pay more attorneys and pay all these court costs for something that is so clearly unconstitutional and illegal. But this isn't unexpected, and I expect that unless the Supreme Court throws this thing out, then they will keep pushing these eviction moratoriums indefinitely everywhere. I mean, really think about it. These states that have been put into a position where if they decide that they want to allow the eviction moratorium to end, then they're going to get all sorts of flack from the tenants' rights groups and from all of the progressives who just want these things to last forever. This is really a push towards socialism. It is so hard to just get rid of these eviction moratoriums now that they've put them into place. That's why they've extended them over and over and over again. And yeah, the courts are going to have to be the ones who get rid of it.